Hi, so this is an embodied spaciousness exercise. This exercise will help if you have a lot of mental activity going on at present, or if you are not feeling quite present where you are in whatever you're doing right now. It will take about 10 to 15 minutes, and your job is simply just to follow the simple suggestions. So firstly, I invite you to just simply acknowledge where you are right now through the visual perception, so through your eyes. You're just going to see what is directly available to you, noticing objects, noticing colors, noticing shapes and textures. This is an effortless receiving of information. So the colors and shapes and forms are just coming to you, but you're just acknowledging them and noticing them, perhaps with a bit more intention. Allowing your eyes to move and noticing that as your eyes move, new images come into your awareness. And noticing that as you become more curious about what's available to see, that your mental activity may have already slowed down. As you look, see if you can receive the objects in your immediate environment without mentally labeling them or without thinking about them. Notice the space between you and the objects that you see. Noticing that there is space behind the object, and notice that there is space to the left and to the right of the object in your focus right now. Allowing your eyes to relax just a little bit, and you can think of allowing your eyes to widen from the bridge of the nose. And you may also become aware of your breath. And you can move your gaze to different objects, near and far. Once again, just noticing the space between you and what you are seeing. And now just having a sense of your whole self and the room in which you are currently sitting. And just noticing that there is space in the room. So there is space above you, You may notice the space between the top of your head and the ceiling. You can just notice and acknowledge that there is space behind you. And for a moment, bringing your attention to the space that is both above and behind you. Noticing your feet making contact with the floor. Noticing the contact of your bum with the seat underneath you. And noticing that there is space between your bum, the chair, and the floor. So having a sense that there is space beneath you also. Seeing if you can still remain visually curious and engaged as you acknowledge the space that is around you. Every now and again, allow your gaze to relax, and you can take that to the extreme where you really relax your eyes so that things become almost fuzzy and you see much more of the periphery. And if you wish to engage that further, you can really think of allowing your eyes to widen from the bridge of your nose. And noticing as you sit here now, in the same way that visual information comes to you naturally and effortlessly, so does sound perception. So including what you can hear right now, even if that's very subtle sounds. If there is silence or space between the sounds, noticing and including that also. And as you look at objects once more, you can notice the lack of sound coming from an object. So you can notice, for example, the silent presence of a lamp, or even the silent presence of the walls in the room. And that silent presence and the space that is around you can become a reflection of the silent space that exists within you also. And noticing if there is mental activity or if there are emotions that are calling your attention, or even some uncomfortable physical sensations. And noticing that you can acknowledge these, but also be aware of the space that is both within you and around you. And taking the spatial awareness slightly further, you can notice the space between the top of your head and the ceiling. And if there is a second floor on your house, you can think of bringing your attention to the space within that second floor. And if there's not, you can just simply imagine there is a second floor. So you're thinking a number of feet above your head, allowing your attention to be elevated to that space. And bring your attention beyond that space and thinking of the space above your house. And you can even think of the space that is a mile above your head. And just noticing and acknowledging that there's even space beyond that. And noticing the effect that that has on you as you bring your attention back to yourself a little bit more. And noticing the space between your ears and noticing the connection once more between your sit bones and the seat underneath you, and the contact of your feet with the ground. And just now bringing all your attention to that contact of your feet with the ground. Just letting your attention rest and reside in that contact and in that support. Noticing that the chair and the ground are supporting you. Noticing your breath. And noticing the connection between the support beneath you and your breath. And you may close your eyes for a moment. And just noticing once more how the body moves or is moved by the breath. So the chest and abdomen releasing inwards with the out breath and expanding backwards, forwards and side to side with the in breath. And appreciating that the air is exchanged between your inner space and the space that is around you. Moving your attention to your hands, right out to your fingertips. Noticing your arms, the space within your wrists and elbows and shoulders, and the connection from your fingertips through your arms and into your torso. Allowing any tension that you notice along the way, and just gently inviting it to release. Noticing all the space and the connection between the top of your neck, right down through your chest and back, moving ribs, abdomen and lower back, your pelvis and the connection that you have with the seat beneath you. Allowing your attention to flow into your thighs, the back of your knees, the front of your knees, your shins and calves, your ankles, your heels, and right down to your toe tips. Noticing again that grounding connection between your feet and the floor beneath you, which supports you. Noticing the whole of you and the whole of space around you as you gently allow your eyelids to open, noticing the influx of light and colour, noticing the space between you and the first object that you see. And again, just acknowledging, appreciating that there is space above, below, behind, and in front of you, and having a thought of expanding out your ears to the space to the left and right of you. Acknowledging the space of the room and that you occupy some of that space. And just noticing the coming and the going of the breath. If you enjoyed this exercise, you may subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I hope to do some more. And these practices come from a mix of lessons in Alexander technique, as well as influences from people such as Eckhart Tolle and Barry Long. So you can practice these type of suggestions whatever you do and wherever you are, and they can have both a grounding effect, but also a sense of ease can come into your body and into your being, as you grow to appreciate the space that is both within you and around you. It can also really help to reduce things like worry about things in the past or the future, as you're just connecting with the natural connections that are available through the senses and through the inherent sense of spatial awareness. Thank you.